Are you ready for
Jesse Ventura?
Are you ready for
Conspiracy theories?
If the answer is yes, then
Kiss my dirty ass. Because Jesse Ventura doesn't take orders from
slap-jawed faggots
like you.
That's gay.
Well, hello everybody. Today we are interviewing a rare breed on the internet. The person I am interviewing is a person who has delved so far into the rabbit hole that he came out the other side, and he is now a fellow dead rabbit, so to speak. He is currently giving these cancerous conspiratards the ridicule they so desperately need in this day and age, and so naturally, we have mutual goals, I should say. In my opinion, nobody can point out the rampant idiocy, hypocrisy, and general conspiratardation within the internet rabbit hole better than a former conspiratard themselves. And so I speak of none other than the host of Kooky Conspiratard Kool-Aid himself, Omni-Eris. Enjoy the interview, everyone. Alright, so hello everybody, my name is Mr. Mental Inertia, and today we are interviewing a former conspiratard, winner of the 2016 Flatty Awards and every award that ever came before that regarding that subject.
Yep.
And a good friend of mine, Omni-Eris. And he's a former conspiratard, and today we are going to be having some discussions about that and other subjects, I'm sure. But anyways, let's begin. How are you today, mister?
I'm good. Pretty boring day. Just been editing shit. I'm on vacation this week, so I'm not really doing anything that valuable with my time.
Well, that's good. Other than being a gang stalker, of course, and keeping up those gift cards.
Yeah, I heard that Nappy's back, so, but I did give him the permaban. He's starting to fucking bore me. And I'm just afraid that one of his retarded followers is going to track me down and beat me to death with a baseball bat or something.
They would never do that. They're totally upstanding, normal individuals, of course. But, first question about the whole conspiracy theory business and how you used to be one, and now you seem to fight against the retardation. What made you interested in conspiracy theories to begin with, before you became Omni-Eris, if you will?
Okay, I guess it's a long story. I was raised in a Baptist family, but I was raised by my great-grandparents, and even though they were definitely Baptists, they didn't really try to brainwash me with it. I mean, they would tell me things about the devil and Jesus and stuff, but they actually really encouraged my other interests. Like, I was very interested in the Greek gods, and most people would consider that to be pagan. But for some reason, they didn't seem to give a shit at all. They just really encouraged my creativity. And so I would always have in the back of my head this sense that something supernatural is going on with hell and heaven and all this crap. But until I was like 20, I was a huge Christian for a very short period of time. But then when I was about 20, I started smoking weed and doing hallucinogenic drugs. And I lost my belief in God, but I needed something new to replace it because I still had all these spiritual feelings. And having done hallucinogens, LSD particularly, I was able to start differentiating the voices in my head. Like, normally you'll have a voice that says, oh, you're a piece of shit for doing that, or oh, that was really nice of you, or just normal thoughts people have. I started giving them personalities, like they were actually separate creatures. And at one point I had this idea that, like, literally a demon was trying to influence me to do something. And I think that's when I went off the deep end and just started exploring pretty much every conspiracy theory. And also having done LSD and seeing things like, oh, reality is nothing like what I thought it was, it really just kind of opened I just fell right down the rabbit hole, because I felt like anything could possibly be true, you know?
Right, like if they're fooling you on this one particular thing and they're able to do it so well, then there must be more.
Exactly.
Right. So during that time when you became a conspiratard and got really into being a conspiratard, what did it take for you to realize that you were being a conspiratard, and that you might be going a bit too far with these beliefs.
Well,
what was the threshold that kind of made you stop and go, "What the fuck am I doing?"
All right, this is super embarrassing. There was a long period leading up to my rock bottom moment, of which I definitely know exactly when that moment was. But I used to visit the David Icke forum all the time, and I was very open to it at first, but after a while I started thinking, like, these people are fucking retards. And I would just start calling them out on it, and I would notice that if I said, like, okay, people would say, oh, they make us wear rubber shoes because it grounds the electricity.
Shit. Sorry, dude, hold on.
That's cool.
Okay.
It's cool. Yeah, people would say things like, they make us wear rubber shoes because it grounds the electricity so that we can't feel at one with the earth, and crap like this. And if you were to say that's retarded, or like brushing your teeth is bad, if you were to say that's retarded, you would get ganged up on by all these retards. And I started thinking I didn't really fit into all that. And
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, people really think that washing washing your dishes with soap is a fucking Illuminati conspiracy. That was a big thing for me with the David Icke forum. Sorry, let me just quickly explain what I mean by that. Somebody at the David Icke forum said you're not supposed to use dish soap on your dishes because it creates harmful chemicals. You just need to rinse your dishes off. That's the healthy way. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That doesn't kill bacteria. People.
Yeah. I'm trying to avoid telling you my rock bottom moment, but I'll just straight up say it. There was some lady that was very much like Cindy Courier talking about how aliens were going to land on October something. And I was just like, okay, this is it. The aliens are finally going to fucking come here. And of course the aliens didn't come. And I was just so fucking humiliated with myself after that. It just altered everything.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Pretty retarded here.
That's actually pretty interesting, because I kind of had like a similar thing. It wasn't like, aliens, this and that, but like I was very much into what the government was going to do to me.
Right.
And at the time there was this Operation Blackjack, and a lot of videos were going around based on like this little thing that I think The Guardian made. It was like this little animation, different slides and stuff that showed how they were going to institute martial law and all this terrorist shit was going to go down.
Right.
And all of it was going to be false flags. And I got really, really into that. But then, like, talking about, like, truthers and stuff, being a truther, it was just kind of like, you don't really need a movement to tell the truth.
Right.
And once I kind of had that seed in my mind, and you speak to somebody else, and they completely just, like, slap you around like how you're saying with the David Icke forum, they just treat you like you're a piece
like
of shit.
Groupthink, right? You got to fit in with the group.
Forever daring to disagree, you are outcasted, and that's when I knew that something was up with that. So it's just kind of nice that like there is that parallel there, and as long as they stay doing this shit, people will kind of snap out of it eventually, hopefully, like kind of how we did. But
well, one thing I think is a big part of it is these groups already have leaders, so they don't like it when somebody new comes along and says something different, because they've already decided what the parameters are for being in the group. So if you disagree with that, then you're challenging the established leader, and that's just, of course you're going to get ganged up on.
Like, the rules of the group is that everybody has to confirm everybody else's beliefs, and that everything everybody says is true.
Unless what you say,
as long as it goes with the leader.
Right, exactly. And so, like, the way that some of these people have such cults, like David Icke has such a fucking cult around him, and Alex Jones has such a cult around him. People will just confirm anything they say, no matter how totally ludicrous. Right. There are people who will fight to the death to defend it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, there's people that will actually send you death threats. If you go on these different forums that, like Project, or what is it? Prison Planet forums, all that other shit. Back then it was a very different beast than what it is now. At least they moderate it, but back then...
What's it like now?
Yeah, now it's just... a bunch of people just linking the same shit that they're already seen on InfoWars, and it's like an extended article comment section. You already know what you're gonna get.
Seems like
But
Alex.
back then,
I was gonna say, it seems like Alex has really like tried to establish his brand very specifically over the last 5 years. Like he's definitely trying to move up into the mainstream as close as he can get to it anyway.
right. And this actually branches into the next question I was going to ask you. But other than David Icke and Alex Jones, because that's usually the two that people gravitate most towards being a conspiratard. But other than David Icke and Alex Jones, who was your conspiratard hero?
I really liked Edgar Casey for a long time. I guess because he was dead, it was hard to find contradictions or flaws because they're already dead, so you just assume that they knew what they were talking about. There's something about dying that gives people a legitimacy that they wouldn't otherwise have. And because I liked Edgar Casey, I kind of liked David Wilcock for a while. But he's a fucking douche. I'm really embarrassed to admit I ever liked him.
Really, yeah.
It's embarrassing.
I had a thing for the what was it, the Mars little jump room to Mars thing. I don't know if you ever heard that little theory, but where it's basically like they step into a room and then they open a door and then all of a sudden it's like, instead of going to Narnia, you're in Mars now.
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Actually, his name was Dan something. There was one guy who, there might be multiple people who talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, he had like a time cube or something that could show all of the infinite possibilities of the, of things that were going to happen, and supposedly the president had it and all the top
like
members of the Freemasons. Yeah, exactly. But he got busted as a huge fucking fraud. I love after these people get busted, they just go away. Like, you just never fucking hear from them again.
There's been so many of those too, like Fritz Springmeier, that whole thing with him being a getaway driver. He got out of jail and apparently he went back into jail. Some other guy, Todd, god damn, I can't remember his name, is John Todd. He's like he's a former Satanist member of the Illuminati, and this was like a 70s guy, but like he was into the music industry. He was the guy that like encoded all the spells into the heavy metal music back then, and all this other bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, like when you because playing stuff backwards is so fucking clever,
I don't even understand how hearing something backwards would in any way subliminally influence you. I mean, I guess I get the theory that your brain interprets it, but even if I hear something, in real life directly, I don't automatically start fucking doing it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, like, the Christian idea of morality is so flimsy that it's like, you need a force to tell you your morality, and if it isn't telling you that, then you're just going to go crazy and go stab people. And if you listen to Iron Maiden, you're just going to hear the words and immediately go out there and rape somebody and murder and eat babies. And that's not how it works. I love how all of this kind of just puts the idea that nobody is really in control of anything they do, that everything is just controlled by some force that, like, literally you could just hear a song walking down the fucking street and then go murder somebody. It's not really your fault. It's because the song put the fucking thought in your head. And not everyone's that extreme with it, but they all have degrees of that type of thinking. Like, that's why I think this idea of subliminal messaging, if you see a symbol, you're suddenly gonna fucking do things because you saw a symbol. Right.
Like, how stupid do you have to be?
I was actually just going to mention that. Like, what we're talking about is basically the same conspiratards that are like, oh my god, look, triangles. Everybody, triangles in this music video. And it's like, nobody noticed the triangles until you fucking said something.
Right.
And even still, that doesn't mean we're going to go out and fucking start, sucking Obama's cock.
Yeah. Like,
just because some triangles, I don't get it. So
what if you see a triangle? What the fuck is going to happen? I mean,
geometry is natural. I mean, get over it. I mean, triangles happen.
Right.
It's just fucking silly. And a symbol means as much meaning as you give it. So you guys are the ones making the big deal out of it. My theory is that these people in the music industry put this shit in there because they know you assholes on the internet will talk about it, generate a buzz, and then make it viral.
Well, it's like creating an urban legend is a pretty good way to spread a message. So
Yeah.
if people are thinking
Definitely.
that you have Illuminati power, then they're probably gonna act like you have some actual power that you don't even have. So
I mean, that's why 80s metal bands, when they wanted to get noticed, they would do all that outlandish Satanist stuff, just for the imagery, just
Right.
because then people will gravitate towards it for it being edgy or whatever. They want to be rebellious
right,
and all this other stuff, and they know that the news is going to go, "Oh my God, what are your kids listening to? Listen at 5 to hear about how seeing this little pentagram with a circle around it is going to make your kids go out and fucking rape and murder and pillage."
yeah,
And that's what these people try to push, but what they don't want to do is just actually understand why people do this stuff. They just want to make an
they want
excuse
to
like that.
basically they just want to pretend it's not really happening in any.
Right.
I mean, they pretend it's happening, but let me start over, okay? So they acknowledge that it's happening, but they don't want to accept the reality of it. They just need it to be this simple black and white fairy tale where they can easily say that this is the devil, and that if you even think about this, then you're going to go to hell. But I don't know. It's not only that way with Christians and religious people, though. Conspiratardation really is like a new form of religion. So
It's the same old thought patterns just repeating themselves, and nowadays there's a modern reference to go off of because there is a lot of corruption in government. There is a lot of people that organize fucked up shit.
right,
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's because Nibiru is coming into our orbit now, and we're approaching the end times, and we all need to donate money to fucking wackos like fucking Patrick John Coleman or some other weirdo, you know?
do people give him money to give him his shamanistic advice? I mean,
I think
how does he
so.
make money?
I think so. Like, I haven't really looked too much into it, but 9 out of 10 times, any of these fucktards have some kind of scam on the go, like
Right.
tarot card readings, or I'm gonna read your palm, or yeah, we'll just talk for an hour and I'll consult the spirits and then I'll come back and give you an answer for $25 an hour or
Right.
something stupid.
Well, it's definitely a given that when somebody is going to make themselves look this fucking stupid on the internet, like when they're going to put themselves out there this way, that they have a personal stake. So no one's going to do it unless they're making money off of it or they're running some kind of scam. If you like legitimately believe that fucking poltergeists are trying to ruin your life, you're not going to be telling everyone about it, you know. Only if you're trying to
Exactly.
make money off of it, then you might tell everyone.
I mean, that's how it is. Like, with people like Patrick, though, in general, he exists in a gray area because there's two kinds of people that try to make money off of this.
Mhm.
There's the people that genuinely believe their own bullshit,
Right.
or there's the people that don't, and they know that they're exploiting idiots
Right.
and making money off
And
of
it's
it.
hard to tell sometimes who's who.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Poe's Law. You don't really know exactly who's the real thing because the most ridiculous person that might not even be a real conspiracy theorist or a religious kook or whatever,
Right.
is indistinguishable from the real thing these days because they are that fucking retarded.
Right. Yeah, it's funny,
Man.
like, how much we've degenerated as a society.
Absolutely. I mean, it's pretty entertaining, and that's the only thing that really keeps me going and doesn't make me blow my brains out at how fucking stupid everything is.
Right.
Is the fact that we have like these what's his name, the cringulent Christard,
Yeah.
and just people like that just make the whole thing very, very hilarious.
Right.
Because but it wouldn't be as entertaining if you're the only person in the room laughing at it.
Right. Well, the funny thing too about people like the okay, just commenting on how these people are entertaining. They're not even like directly entertaining. It's not like Mario is like super talented at making people laugh or
No,
think.
it's all accidental.
Right, like he's really just horrible. He's just fucking god awful, and that's what's so funny. Like he doesn't even realize what an ass he is, crying in a fucking swimming pool during his baptism, like just making himself look like an asswipe. He doesn't even realize how pathetic that looks.
And he's so genuine and earnest, though, and his emotions are very much real, but he's just that off that he doesn't realize he's that much of an ass.
Right.
And it's like even Christians are standing around looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Dude, I have some things to say about Mario. I mean,
Shoot, man, go for it.
He reminds me of people who used to be at the David Icke Forum. He heavily reminds me of them.
Really?
And I know that's because he's like an Alex Jones devotee and there's a lot of overlap in that audience. But he talks about how he used to channel spirits and just some of the crap he says about how, I can tell he thinks like I mean, he's obviously a conspiratard, but he still has a lot of those new age pathways mapped out in his brain. And they're always going to be there. But, you know, he would have been on the day. Maybe he was. Maybe I fucking talked to him there because he definitely is the kind of guy who would have fit in there perfectly. I mean, he would have been adored there.
I wouldn't doubt it for a second because he does talk about that, like how he used to be into like Reiki energy and all this other woo-woo nonsense.
He
bullshit.
still believes in it, but now it's Holy Spirit. It's just this different fucking
Oh
word.
yeah, you're just trading an aesthetic.
Yep. But he'll attack you if you feel the same thing as him, but you use a different word for it. Then you're satanic.
Right. Exactly. And it's just somebody always has to be satanic, though. They can't just lay back and not judge other people and be retards in their own little corner.
Right.
And that's when they start to spill out into outside of their little bubble that they made for themselves. That's when they become a problem.
Yeah.
When they try to recruit people.
Yeah, like Lord Steven. But also, just Nappy, like, how does he have sycophants? He's a fucking homeless guy who lives in a van and yells at total strangers, and he has people sucking his dick on the internet? Like, how? How does that happen?
He's fighting terrorism, man. He's fighting the terrorists.
Well...
You're a terrorist, buddy, and we all know that you organized that jumping of Nappy.
It's true. I used Oscar's West Coast connections to set this up.
God damn, I really want to play that one West Coast Connection song now. Bow down.
I'm not familiar, but I'm a douche, so...
No, I know stupid music from the 90s, so... But, yeah. That's just weird about Nappy that he just wanted to bring that up, and somehow, like, he didn't start his video thinking that you organized it.
Oh, he just came to the thought in the middle of the video?
Yes. He got to the end, and he was just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you probably even had something to do with it, because we all assumed, Nappy, you can ask all of us back then, we thought when you disappeared that he either was in jail, beat up, or in a mental institution.
Everyone guessed correctly. Everyone guessed correctly what happened to Nappy. So, what does that tell you about him?
I mean, this can only end one of three ways.
Yeah, hopefully it ends soon, though, for the sake of humanity. But, yeah, Nappy, I don't know. How did I become his fucking villain? I mean, I know how I became his villain, but, like, why is it that I'm the one organizing it? Can't be anyone else?
I have no idea. He just latched onto you. He thinks you're cute, I guess. I don't know.
I think he blames me for getting his Lady Gaga song video taken down because he doesn't realize that you're not allowed to do that. So he probably thinks I had something to do with that. And ever since then, I've been part of the Illuminati, I bet.
He probably thinks you're the guy that beams voices into his head to make him attracted to other men when he doesn't want to be.
Yeah, I am the one that does that, so...
Nice.
Yeah. So, what's going on with
James?
James?
I applied for that job, but I failed.
Yeah, they only take the best. So, when it comes to beaming gay sex thoughts into people's minds, nobody's better.
I just couldn't meet the quota of gay minds converted.
So,
sucks.
What's going on with James Jackson? I haven't really been following him lately.
To be honest, I haven't either. He's basically doing his same crap, making little karate videos, talking crazy nonsense, acting like he's Malcolm X as usual.
Man.
And you know what really fucked me up is before my conversation with him, I didn't look into him enough like I should have.
Yeah,
I
there's
didn't,
always more. There's always more on these people than you realize.
I didn't know my opponent, so to speak. I should have read Sun Tzu's Art of War again, but he should reprimand me on that. But anyways, like, he apparently is obsessed with that Myron May dude and Aaron Alexis.
Yeah,
He made a video about a year ago on an alternate channel called Rob Ott, like robot, but Rob space Ott.
yeah.
And on that channel, he has a video called Myron May, Aaron Alexis, Legendary, Martyr, Hero, some bullshit like that. I can't remember the exact title verbatim, but. And in the video, he just basically goes through about how basically everything they did was right, and they did this because of you, and it's your fault, you guys, because you don't take me seriously.
Oh my God.
Me, James Jackson, the karate master who's being poisoned, and people hide snakes under my karate bags.
Too bad
You know,
none
I
of
don't
them
know.
fucking succeeded. I just don't understand. He comes from a privileged background, right? Like, it's not like he grew up with all of these... Are his parents fucking crazy? Like, how did this happen? This is a disaster. This is not how a life is supposed to turn out. Oh, it's not like James Jackson.
You know, I really shouldn't get into it too much, and I won't reveal too much just because I just won't. But
Right.
I've seen pictures of him before he got into all of this stuff, and he actually looked like a very happy guy at one point.
It's probably some traumatic event happened or something like
Yeah,
that.
well, I mean, when I was speaking to him, he was talking to me about how his parents got him committed and all this other crazy shit, and his family got into a fight with him. And the version of the interview I have uploaded is an edited version that I got from him.
Yeah.
So,
So there's more
that
that never saw the light of
right.
day.
exactly,
Hmm.
there is. And
And
unfortunately,
stuff
it
he
didn't make it
chose
in
to
there.
edit out. Right. Got it.
he was talking about how his brother came in there and into his room. He was sitting there trying to eat some chicken wings or something, and his brother came in and attacked him. Chicken wings went everywhere, and then police showed up. And then he was trying to tell the police that his brother came in and attacked him. Apparently, they told the police he did something. I don't fucking know.
Well, he is
But
crazy,
anyways,
so he could have done
yeah.
something.
Off to the loony bin he went. And ever since then, you know, the whole world's out to get him. And it's very sad to see this kind of shit. But I hope people that are watching this realize that what me and Omni do isn't just we're sitting here like, oh, ha, ha, look at these mentally ill people. That's not the point. The point is, so well, for me anyways, I can't speak for you, but the point is for me anyway, is that there are people out there that could be on the edge of this shit, or people that have people in their lives like this, and they could possibly, you know, show them a reality check, if you will. They might see the light of day, you know, go outside once in a while, fucking talk to other people, you know, and isolation is the key to a lot of this stuff. Is James is very isolated. H.G. Wells is extremely isolated. A lot of these really fucked up conspiratards are in an isolated point in their lives where they don't get to bounce these ideas off of other
Right.
people. And when I was a conspiratard and I was getting out of it, I had a person that I eventually married that helped me get out of this, because I was able to speak to them and they were able to speak back to me, and we were able to work this shit out, and I was able to actually go, well, damn, you know what? A lot of this stuff doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know?
And one thing I want to add to what you were saying is, yeah, it can seem cruel to be making fun of these people, but it is a form of engagement that is honest, which is something that
Absolutely.
they usually do not get. Most people who they surround themselves with will reinforce their delusions. And I also want to say that what helped me get out of being a fucking retard was not someone educating me about all of this crap and giving me all of the information, because I already had that at my disposal. I was choosing to believe this crap because it made me feel better. And what actually snapped me out of it was when I said to myself, when I hit my rock bottom point, I said, holy shit, you have become a fucking retard. Like, How did it get this out of control? How did you become so goddamn retarded? And I wish somebody had said that to me, you know, other than myself. Maybe I would have snapped out of it a lot sooner.
That's what it kind of took for me too. Is like at the time when I was a conspiratard, I was really into Alex Jones, very into Alex Jones, almost defensively.
Yep, I know the feeling.
And this person that was really cool with me and was talking to me about all this stuff. They were a conspiratard too, but not quite on my level of power quite yet. But when I mentioned this stuff to them, they were just like, Alex Jones is a cunt, haha. You know, I'm just like, wait a minute, he is.
Yeah.
And it just kind of took somebody that I could identify with to just kind of go, hey, you know what? It's possible that he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And you can stop defending him and be an okay guy still.
Right. It's kind of like other people need to anchor you back into reality. I mean, when Alex is your only friend, then, you know, you have a lot invested in him. When you don't trust anyone except Alex. But...
And, like, when these people get it isolated, that's when their mind goes crazy. Like, they become anime otakus with a waifu pillow and
oh my God,
or otherkins, and, you know, they become conspiratards. And
or balloon fuckers.
Yeah, balloon fuckers, bridge fuckers, you know. I mean, at least a bridge fucker goes outside. I'll give them that much.
Yeah, I guess
you know?
I would rather, like, be friends with the lady who thinks that she's married to the Eiffel Tower than I would be with, like, Patrick John Coleman. So she's less creepy than he is, that's for sure.
I mean, at least you could travel to the Eiffel Tower with that person, and they'll be very informative and give you a very good tour.
Right, and then they'll make out with the
Patrick John Coleman will put his arms around you while he's in his underwear and ask you to be his boyfriend out of nowhere.
No, he wouldn't ask the Eiffel Tower. He would just fucking rape it. So get those
just
vibes.
Just shove his little mustached tongue all into the
Eiffel
mouth
Tower.
Of the...
Yeah, it really doesn't want to be his boyfriend, but he's gonna make it. So
I bet he could fit all of that too.
Dude, I was just thinking that. The Great French Challenge.
Yeah, that's the new YouTube viral video sensation, the French Challenge.
Yeah. Hey, Patrick, if you do that video, you're going to go viral. It's going to be the biggest shit on YouTube.
That's funny. But yeah, he's a weirdo. Vitaly, though, dude, you need to escape.
Poor Vitaly.
But, yeah. We love you, Vitaly.
Vitaly, you need to start a YouTube channel yourself and turn on the donation button, and you may just start getting donations. That's all I'm saying.
Just maybe.
Just maybe. And then maybe you won't have to live with Patrick anymore. Just maybe.
And his angry lesbian roommate.
Yeah, what's her fucking deal?
I don't know.
I thought those were really Patrick's knickknacks, but now they're obviously her knickknacks. So Patrick can once again go back to having no money in my mind.
From what I understand, Patrick and Vitaly both sleep on the same couch.
Oh my God, Vitaly has to sleep that close to Patrick every fucking night.
I'm making that up though.
Oh,
it's probably true.
If I was,
but.
Almost made a very off-color joke, but I don't want to hurt Vitaly's feelings, so I'll keep it to myself.
We love you, Vitaly. It's all jokes, Vitaly.
Vitaly, I made an awesome video, and I'm never going to show it because I care that much about you. So there you go.
It's true.
Who else?
He rubbed lotion all over his body and everything for you. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's probably what Patrick makes him do. When it puts the lotion on its skin down in the because Patrick really reminds me of that guy.
He does look like he has very supple skin, like he's being overly lotioned.
Yeah, Patrick's gonna end up eating him. I think we all know where this is going. It's gonna be cannibalism.
Yeah. Cannibal shamanism.
Shamans would be cannibals, right? I mean, it makes total fucking sense.
Hey boss, you have a text message.
Sorry. He's gonna eat his brain and oh shit. He's gonna eat his pineal gland for the enrichment spiritually.
Yeah. Who are some other retards that we haven't talked about?
I don't know. Let me see. There's so many.
I know. I think we covered all the big ones.
There's Flat Earth Tards. Have you ever heard of this guy, Dabu7?
I have heard of him, and actually he was some of the first Flat Earth videos I checked out on YouTube, but I swear to God, I don't fucking remember anything about his videos. I think that it was just like a bunch of slideshow shit, and I tune out real fast when I don't have an actual person to watch. So
Yeah.
I think I
you have a text message.
God damn it.
I think I had that problem with that. Having work problems.
Nah, that's cool, but I'm thinking that I might actually fuck with him a little bit.
Who,
I could do
Dabu?
I could do a really good Dabu impression.
You should do it.
It's always like, I'll give you guys a preview, okay? It's like, hello everybody, this is Dabu7, and I'm here to make another video about how Tupac was murdered by the Illuminati, okay? And the Illuminati, they're out there and they're out to get you, so you need to subscribe to me.
Is he Australian?
This is Dabu7, Illuminati out. No, he's not. He just puts on. He's from Florida, but he just sounds like some surfer douchebag. He's like,
I don't even know what he
"Hello,
sounds like,
yeah."
but that's a good impression. So
Yeah, dude.
yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I have it on good
It's
authority.
spot fucking on. You don't have to listen.
It's probably better than his actual videos. I have it on good authority that Dabu is a shill, not
He
even
is.
a real flat earther.
You know what? All of these people are.
Yeah.
Every last one of these YouTube people that haven't been murdered yet, that have gone on YouTube to proclaim the truth. If you haven't been murdered yet, then you ain't telling the truth. Because everybody who is telling the truth, and there is a big bad group out there that's out there to do all this evil stuff to us, they would kill you if they're as powerful as you claim.
They're just
So,
targeting people though. because-
Everybody's a shill.
Yeah, but the Illuminati's not powerful enough to do that, even though they can control every single fucking event that ever happens, down to the most minute detail. They can't actually kill anyone who points out what they're doing for some reason.
I do have a conspiracy theory that the government makes a lot of conspiracy theories simply so that people will ignore real shit that they could actually be arguing about.
It sounds plausible. I mean, it just seems like a smart thing to do if you're actually going to be doing illegal shit. Like, I think all these rich people who are doing illegal shit probably laugh every fucking time they hear about reptilians. So
Yeah, I mean, if I were somebody in power and whenever somebody Googled me, reptilians was the first thing that showed up rather than the shit I'm actually doing, I'd be fine with that.
yeah.
Please call me a reptilian. Don't look into the fact that like I'm accepting donations from a lot of fucked up people, or whatever.
Well, at least Pete Santilli's in jail, huh? So
Yeah, fuck that
there's
guy.
always that.
He's next too.
Next, what
Eventually.
do you mean? He's gonna
He's
have
on my list.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant he was gonna pull a Scalia or something. So
No. He's on my list though, because he's a really fucked up dude. And then all this other shit that happens recently, like if anybody's an actual police informant, I'm fully convinced he is. Like I think he's like
he must
Hal-
be.
or- I
He's
think
been
Hal
arrested
Turner, I
before.
think his name was.
Yeah.
What's his name? Hal Turner, the guy that was a FBI informant, did all that white nationalist bullshit and, a whole bunch of other shit. Said some extreme shit about killing cops, except he got exposed and fucked with. But I think Pete Santilli is the exact same thing, just on a little bit lower level.
Wasn't
for
Santilli
the most
arrested?
part, but
Wasn't he arrested on like some very serious charges years ago and then let out of jail the same fucking night?
to
And
be
then the
honest, there's
charges.
so much
Yeah.
shady shit about this guy. Like, there's
Well, he
so
must have
much.
fucked up if he got arrested. He must have pissed somebody off. I mean,
Like he's the thing that put me onto him way back. I fucked with him because he used to think 9/11 was done by like a satellite laser beam that shot down the two towers.
Oh, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah, a laser beam. You know, Dr. Judy Wood, blah blah blah. He'd have her ass on and he'd kiss her ass and try to fucking threaten people that didn't go along with this shit. And then, like, the way he responded to criticism was just really screwed up, too. Like, you know, people would accuse him of, you know, different things. And Alex Jones, if you call him an idiot and this and that, he doesn't respond to it. Like, he doesn't have the time of day to respond
There's
to people
too many
calling him a
fucking
government
people.
shill.
Exactly, too many people.
Right. And Pete Santilli still has a lot of people, but he
Not-
gets so
right.
defensive. And he'll mention it in every show.
Yeah. He seems like someone who's easily butthurt.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, Ron, do you want to do an outro? I'm kind of like, I need to go.
Yeah, that's cool. So anyways, it was awesome having you, dude, and we will try to do this again sometime.
For
And
sure.
we will do this again.
Next
Have
time,
a good day, dude.
I'm going to interview you next time, okay?
Awesome. We'll do it.
Alright, I'll see you later, Ron. Peace.
Peace out, man. Enjoy your dinner.
You too. Okay, I'm stopping recording right now.